Ladies and gentlemen, let's cut to the chase. You're depressed. I don't care how you dress it up or try to explain it away, deep down, you know the truth. You've been handed a shit sandwich by life, and you're sitting there staring at it, too paralyzed to take a bite. Let me tell you something, and I want you to listen carefully. Depression is not some mysterious disease that just randomly shows up. No, it's the result of poor choices, a lack of discipline, and an unwillingness to do what's necessary. It's because you've been stuck in your comfort zone for too long. It's because you refuse to put in the hard work required to take control of your life. Depression is not some uncontrollable monster. It's the direct result of your choices, your actions, and your lack of accountability. Now, I'm not here to offer you some fluffy self-help nonsense about feeling better or finding peace. What you need is a slap in the face. What you need is to hear the brutal truth about why you're depressed and what you've been doing wrong. It's time to wake up, stop lying to yourself, and start taking responsibility. Depression doesn't happen to people who are living life at full throttle, taking action, and going after what they want. Depression happens to those who are sitting on their asses, making excuses, and hiding from the hard truth. So, if you want to stop being depressed, if you want to pull yourself out of this mess, you need to understand the root causes of your suffering. And I'm going to tell you exactly what they are. You don't like the truth? Tough luck. This is what you need to hear. You've lost your purpose. Let's start with the most glaring reason for your depression. You've lost your sense of purpose. You wake up every day, go through the motions, and wonder why nothing feels worthwhile. Well, let me tell you why. You have no direction, no mission, no greater cause driving you. You've allowed your life to drift aimlessly. You're stuck in a cycle of mediocrity, and you wonder why you feel empty inside. You weren't born to sit around and wait for life to happen. You were born to achieve, to create, to contribute to something bigger than yourself. When you lose that sense of purpose, that drive to push forward, you fall into a hole. It's the same hole you're in now. You might think that having a 9-to-5 job or watching Netflix for hours is enough, but it's not. It's not fulfilling, and it's certainly not enough to keep your mind engaged. When you have no purpose, you start to feel like you're wasting away. And let me tell you something. If you're not moving forward, you're dying. The good news is this: you can change that. You can find a new purpose, a new challenge, a new reason to get out of bed every morning. But here's the thing, it's not gonna fall into your lap. You need to find it yourself, and it won't come without work. If you want to get out of depression, you need a clear, powerful mission that drives you every single day. That mission will give you focus, and it will give you the strength to get up and tackle life head on. So ask yourself, what is your mission? What's the one thing that, if you accomplished it, would make everything worth it? Until you find that, your depression is going to persist, and no amount of therapy or self-help books is going to fix it. Only action and the pursuit of something meaningful will. It's time to stop complaining about how you feel and start focusing on what you're going to do about it. Your mission is out there. Go find it, and don't stop until you've claimed it. You're not taking responsibility. Let me be blunt. The reason you're depressed is because you've been avoiding responsibility. You've been blaming others, blaming the economy, blaming your parents, blaming anyone and everything except yourself. Well, let me tell you something that might sting. You are the reason you're stuck in the rut you're in. Nobody is coming to rescue you. Nobody is going to fix your life for you. You're the one who has to take charge and start owning your actions. You might think you're a victim of circumstances. You might think that life has thrown you a bunch of curveballs that you can't handle, but guess what? That's a load of crap. Winners, successful people, the ones who've made it, They don't blame the world for their problems. They take full responsibility. They know that their actions, or lack thereof, are what got them where they are. If you want to stop being depressed, you need to stop being a victim. Victims don't win. When you take responsibility, you stop giving power away to the external world. You realize that you have the ability to change your situation. If you're in a bad place, it's because you've allowed yourself to get there. And if you want to get out, it's up to you to take the first step. It's not easy, but it's necessary. If you can't take responsibility for your life, you'll never take control of it. When you own your mistakes, your choices, and your actions, you begin to feel empowered. You no longer feel like life is happening to you. Instead, you feel like you are in the driver's seat, controlling the direction of your future. And when you talk to yourself and others, you do so with the language of accountability. You stop making excuses and you start making changes. The moment you start taking responsibility is the moment you begin to break free from depression. You're not challenging yourself. Depression thrives in complacency. You've allowed yourself to become comfortable, to stay in a rut, to stop pushing yourself. When you stop challenging yourself, your brain goes into idle mode and you begin to feel worthless. You're not growing, you're not progressing, you're stuck. And that stagnation feeds into the feelings of hopelessness. Let me tell you this, life is about constant growth. You need to challenge yourself, to push yourself beyond your limits, to do the hard things that make you uncomfortable. If you're not constantly trying to become a better version of yourself, then you're wasting time. You're not living, you're merely existing. And guess what? That's depressing. Here's the thing, you have to stop being afraid of failure. If you're not failing at something, you're not trying hard enough. It's the failures, the struggles, the obstacles that shape you into someone who can handle life's challenges. You think winners don't struggle? Think again. Winners embrace the struggle and they use it to fuel their growth. They welcome adversity because they know it's the only way to rise to the next level. You have to put yourself in situations that demand more of you. You need to raise your standards and hold yourself accountable for pushing your limits. Whether it's in your career, in your relationships, or in your personal development, you need to challenge yourself relentlessly. If you're not failing at something, then you're just coasting, and that's why you're depressed. The good news, you can fix this. Start setting higher goals. Start doing things that scare you. Start holding yourself accountable to a higher standard. That's how you get out of depression. You grow, you evolve, you rise above the mundane and become something extraordinary. You take action. You're surrounded by weakness. Here's a hard truth you need to hear. If you're surrounded by weak people, you're going to stay weak. Your environment matters more than you think. If you're hanging out with people who are just as lost, lazy, and uninspired as you, guess what? You're never going to get out of this depression. Misery loves company, and you've been wallowing in it for far too long. Winners surround themselves with people who push them, challenge them, and hold them accountable. If you're the smartest person in your circle, then you need a new circle. You need people who inspire you, who elevate you, who make you want to do better. And if you're stuck with people who constantly bring you down, drag you into their drama, and feed you negativity, then you're setting yourself up for failure. You've got to make the hard decision to remove toxic people from your life. Cut the dead weight. You need to surround yourself with people who will push you to grow, who will hold you to a higher standard, and who won't let you off the hook when you start making excuses. If you're going to break free from depression, you need a strong network of winners who will support you and hold you accountable. Here's the bottom line. You become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So if you're spending time with people who are dragging you down, you're going to stay stuck. If you want to rise above your depression, you need to find a new circle. And if you're too lazy or too scared to make that change, then you'll stay exactly where you are. You're stuck in your comfort zone. Here's the thing about depression. It thrives in comfort. When you're in your comfort zone, you're not growing, you're not pushing yourself, you're not doing anything that excites you or challenges you. And when you're not pushing yourself, your mind starts to spiral. You feel stuck, useless, and empty. Life is meant to be challenging. You're supposed to get uncomfortable, but you've been sitting around making excuses and avoiding discomfort. You've been avoiding the things that scare you because they make you feel vulnerable. But here's the brutal truth. If you want to get out of depression, you have to embrace discomfort. You need to start putting yourself in situations that make you uncomfortable, whether it's taking on a new project, going after a bigger goal, or simply having a tough conversation. You need to get used to the discomfort. The more you push yourself out of your comfort zone, the more you grow. And the more you grow, the more you'll break free from the depressive cycle you're in. The discomfort you're avoiding right now is what will set you free. Get used to it. Welcome it. When you start stepping outside your comfort zone, you'll begin to feel alive again. You'll regain a sense of purpose, and the depression will lose its grip on you. But only if you're willing to step up and make it happen. You're not taking care of your body. Now let's get real for a second. Your physical state is a reflection of your mental state. If you're not taking care of your body, you're setting yourself up for failure in every area of your life. You think you can be depressed and still expect to achieve greatness? Think again. Your body is the vessel that carries your mind, your thoughts, and your actions. If you're letting your body go to hell, eating junk, sitting around, not exercising, you're setting yourself up to feel like crap, mentally and emotionally. And when you feel like crap, guess what? You're gonna act like crap. Look, I don't care how busy you are, your health is your wealth. If you're not investing time in your physical well-being, you're sabotaging your future. Winners understand this. They understand that physical fitness is not optional. It's a requirement. The discipline it takes to keep your body in shape bleeds over into every other aspect of your life. When you start taking care of your body, you'll have more energy, more mental clarity, and more drive to go after your goals. And when you're feeling strong physically, your confidence will soar. Depression can't thrive in a body that's strong, energized, and healthy. You want to get rid of depression? Start moving. Start eating better. Get out of the bed, go for a walk, hit the gym, whatever it takes to get your body moving. Exercise is a proven mood booster. It releases endorphins that make you feel good and clear your mind. It's an instant way to break the cycle of negativity. So stop making excuses and take responsibility for your health. Get yourself into shape and watch how your mindset follows. I'm not saying you need to be a bodybuilder or some fitness freak, but you need to make fitness a priority. Start with small steps. Walk every day, eat cleaner, get enough sleep. When your body is healthy, your mind will be healthier too. You can't have one without the other. So stop neglecting yourself and start treating your body like the temple it is. It'll change your life. And it'll take you one step closer to crushing that depression once and for all. You're not facing your fears. I'll tell you something that most people won't admit. The reason you're depressed is because you're running from your fears. You're avoiding the very things that scare you, and in doing so, you're holding yourself back from living the life you're meant to live. Fear is a powerful force, but here's the thing about fear. It only has power if you give it power. When you face your fears head on, they lose their control. The longer you avoid them, the more they fester and grow and the more they keep you trapped in this miserable cycle. You're sitting there pretending to be fine, but deep down you know you're scared. Maybe it's fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of not being good enough. Whatever it is, it's paralyzing you, but it doesn't have to. The first step is to acknowledge the fear, then confront it directly. It's time to stop pretending that you can hide from it. The only way out is through. Facing your fears takes courage, but it's the kind of courage that will set you free. You have to understand that fear is natural. Every single successful person has felt fear. The difference between the winners and the losers is that the winners don't run from their fear, they run towards it. They understand that fear is a signal that they're on the right track. It's a sign that they're pushing themselves to the limit, which is exactly where they need to be. You want to stop feeling depressed? Stop running. Take the leap. Do the thing that scares you. Face the hard truths about yourself, your limitations, and your goals. Each time you do, you'll feel a weight lift off your shoulders. You'll be one step closer to conquering your fears and in turn, conquering your depression. You're focusing on what you don't have, not what you do. There's a simple rule that winners live by, and it's this: focus on what you have, not what you don't have. And let me tell you something, right now, you're drowning in the negative. You're stuck in the I don't have this, or I'm missing that mindset. And that is the very thing fueling your depression. Every time you think about what you don't have, you're just digging yourself deeper into the hole. You're throwing yourself a pity party. And guess what? No one's showing up because no one cares. Let me break it to you. If you want to get out of depression, you've got to stop focusing on what's missing. Stop lamenting over the things you wish you had, the life you wish you were living, the circumstances that should have been different. You've got what you need right now. If you can't see it, then that's part of the problem. You need to change your perspective and start looking at what you've got. The skills, the opportunities, the resources, and the potential. Gratitude is the antidote to depression. Winners don't waste time focusing on their lack. They focus on their abundance and the fact that they are still standing. You are still standing. You've made it this far and you have so much to be grateful for, but you're too focused on what's not right, and that's keeping you stuck. When you shift your mindset to one of gratitude, every time you catch yourself thinking about what you don't have, stop. Shift your focus to what you do have. Your time, your health, your ability to change. Those are assets more valuable than anything money can buy. And when you realize that, you'll start making progress instead of sitting there feeling sorry for yourself. You're living in the past. Another key reason why you're stuck in depression is that you're living in the past. You're constantly replaying old wounds, old failures, old mistakes in your head, and that's a surefire way to stay depressed. The past is gone and it cannot be changed. Every time you revisit it in your mind, you're draining yourself emotionally and mentally. It's like trying to move forward with an anchor tied to your feet. You're just dragging yourself through life, weighed down by memories that don't serve you anymore. Listen carefully. The past is a lesson, not a life sentence. Yes, you've made mistakes. Yes, there have been things that have hurt you. But that's not where your power lies. Your power lies in the present and the future. The more you dwell on past failures, the more you perpetuate that cycle of depression. You're telling yourself that you can't move forward because of what happened in the past. That's bullshit. You're giving the past control over your present. And that's the exact opposite of what a winner does. You have to let go of the past, not by pretending it didn't happen, but by choosing to stop letting it define your future. Every time you start thinking about your past, stop yourself and ask, How is this helping me right now? Is this thought moving me forward or keeping me stuck? The answer will be clear. The past is only valuable if you learn from it and then move on. Winners don't sit around wallowing in their past mistakes. They use them as stepping stones to build a better future. You have to stop seeing yourself as a product of your past. You are who you choose to be in this moment. So make that choice. Let go of the baggage. Start fresh. It's time to free yourself from the chains of yesterday and focus on the opportunities you have today to create a new future. Let go, move on, and start living like the person you were meant to be. You're not committing to action. Finally, the most powerful reason you're stuck in depression is because you're not committing to action. Depression thrives in inaction. It feeds off your apathy, your indecision, and your refusal to take control. You sit around, you think about what you should do, but you never actually do it. And that, my friend, is where you're losing. If you're not doing the work, nothing is going to change. You can't think your way out of depression. You have to act your way out. Let me make this clear. Action conquers everything. No amount of thinking, planning, or wishing is going to pull you out of your slump. Only action can do that. The moment you commit to taking the necessary steps to improve your life, whether that's getting up early, hitting the gym, starting that new project, or confronting the things you've been avoiding, that's the moment you take control. Action is what breaks the cycle of depression. Now, I know what you're thinking, but I'm not motivated. I don't feel like it. Let me tell you something. Motivation is overrated. Discipline and action are what matter. When you start taking action, the motivation follows. But you can't wait for the motivation to show up to do the work. Winners don't sit around waiting for the stars to align. They act regardless of how they feel. They get up, put in the work, and move forward with determination. If you want to break free from depression, you need to commit to action. Stop overthinking it. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. There is no perfect moment. There's only the moment you have right now. And in this moment, you have the power to make a change. You want to get out of the dark hole you're in? Start climbing. Take the first step, and then the next. Each small action will build momentum. And before you know it, you'll be looking back at your depression as a distant memory. It's all about committing to action. Get moving or stay stuck. The choice is yours. Ladies and gentlemen, the reason you're depressed is not some mystical force working against you. The reason is simple. You've allowed yourself to fall into bad habits, poor thinking, and inaction. You're not living with purpose. You're not taking responsibility. You're not challenging yourself, and you're not doing the work that's necessary to rise above it. But here's the good news. You have the power to change it. You can stop living in the past. You can start focusing on your health, your goals, your actions. You can break free from the cycle. Depression is not a life sentence. It's a result of choices. And if you don't like where you are right now, it's time to start making different choices. Stop waiting for something external to change. Take responsibility for your life. Take action. Let go of the past. Challenge yourself to grow. And when you do these things, depression won't have a chance. You'll begin to feel alive again, ready to take on the world. The choice is yours. What do you mind to do about it?